Let's get this show on the road. Okay, hello, Julie. I asked Alex about you just the other day, actually. I don't see you on Facebook these days. I think Facebook, what it does is you talk to someone once or twice and it makes you besties. And people you haven't talked to for a while, it just doesn't show you their posts and so on. Hello, Stuart. Really glad to see you there, man. Today's a bit of a brain one. Hello, Rogan. Sorry. Today's a bit of a brain one. I want some ideas. I want people to share this with me so I can incorporate it into my life. And the question is, I'm going to get into the heavy bit in just a while, is whether we're living in a simulation or not. Now, whether you believe it or not, it's still just food for thought, some fantasy idea. But I think if you do entertain it and you take these ideas in, they're quite interesting, They can spin your brain around a bit. And we all like to spin our brains around a bit, whether it's by drinking, sniffing, dropping, or just going for a walk in the park. And we like a puzzle, we like to look at a brain teaser and sometimes sit back and go, wow. And it's not the thing itself, it's the reaction it causes in us. We're like, oh my God, wow. And, get a little head spin. Hello, guys. Got the Essex crew in today. These people all know each other. Well, not all of them, those three do. So, I'm going to go out on a limb here. And let me get this stuff ready. Yeah, I'm going to say that some folk actually believe that we could be living in a simulation. And I want to actually, hello Shannon, I want to go a step further than that and saying that we could be the simulation, every single one of us. And that our reality isn't really what we think it is until we start thinking harder about who we are, what we see and how we perceive things, then we don't truly understand it. We're just walking through life and we're just being, which is a nice state of mind to be in, but at the same time sometimes we want to look further than that and we want to know where we come from, where we're heading to and so on, but those things are unknown. We know where we come from at least, and we know we're heading to the grave, but on the grandest scale of things, why we're here, we sometimes want to know what our purpose is. And it's been put forward by some people, yeah, Gaz, hello brother. So instead of being part of somebody else's reality, we create our own reality. So let's talk about that. Okay, right. So imagine just for a moment that I'm not actually communicating with you in a shared environment, but at this very moment, I'm simply the creation of your reality. You with me? I'm sorry to treat with kid gloves on this one. And some of you may argue that because we share the same reality, that there exists an objective reality and, we're these separate entities. But you have to entertain the idea that only you exist. And everything that you're seeing now and doing is a creation of your mind. So, you may perceive that I'm writing to you and communicating with you right now, and that we must both exist because you're receiving what I'm writing. But what I'm doing right now is my reality. It just might be me making things up. And everything that you're seeing now and everything that you're perceiving is just simply your reality. And it isn't actually connected to me, but it's just simply, living in your head. And you might argue that we're communicating, but how could you ever know? It's just like if you dream of me, I'm unaware. You've created a reality and I'm in that reality, but I'm not aware that I'm in that reality, which means does that reality exist? And the fact that we're communicating now is pretty much the same thing. Are you awake right now? Okay, let's take it that you are awake. We believe that we're in a state of awake. We're not dreaming. Do I actually exist as a physical being, or am I a creation of your mind? Hello, Gaby. Hello, David, Chris. Hello, Joe. It's a weird one today, just a little brain thing. So we can never truly know ourselves. And this is a challenge that we all face. We create an image of ourselves, and that image is more likely what we want to be seen like rather than who we are. And they've done tests time and time again. For instance, in Europe, many women believe that they're not thin enough. It's just a mindset that European women have. And they believe that they're fat and they see themselves as heavy. We all see ourselves as smart or clever. We've never seen ourselves as ugly. We may feel it on occasion, like, feel like you're not good enough, but you have to feel really low for that. Other than that, everyone else is ugly. I don't know if any of you have got kids, but for those of you who have, you haven't got an ugly baby, but you've seen ugly babies before. Ugly babies don't exist. Especially yours, I mean. And it's the same with us. You know, we can talk about how stupid people are, how dumb people are, how tardy someone is, but it's never us. And this is because we perceive ourselves as something that we're not. And in reality, we can never really truly see who we are because we can never ever see ourselves. These are just ideas I'm putting forward. I'd love you to put forward your ideas on this. Hello, Gaby. Welcome back. Trees. What about trees? I'm going to break this up. So, guys, say more on trees. I know there's some ideas. Okay, but trees exist. I think there was some crazy theory that someone put out on the internet. And I don't mean crazy meaning bad, but you see trees. How do you know that we're both seeing the tree? What I'm saying is it's still your reality. You're creating the tree, you're creating me, you're creating everything else. Another example would be mirrors. Okay, so you think, okay, no, but I can see myself in a mirror, but you can't. It's as if we've created a mirror to see ourselves, but there's like a glitch in the matrix because mirrors actually reverse our image. Our image is reversed in a mirror. We don't see our true self. And then there's another argument that we can see ourselves because we create cameras. But no, it's a copy of ourselves. It's an image of us, but it isn't us. We never ever see ourselves. So as an experiment, just try this. Hold your hands out in front of you. And did you create your hands? Put them back behind your back, put them in front, and then they appear. But you can see your hands, you can see your nose, but you can see your legs, your chest maybe, but you can never see your entire body. You've never even seen your back. Hold on, I think I've got an emergency here. I'm just going to have to block you out for 30 seconds. I don't think people really know the true hypnotic power of television. You know, how it pulls us in and just keeps telling us to consume, buy, and tells us to hate each other and separates us and causes the greatest divides, all under the name of entertainment. Yardy buckety rumting, nick, yo! It's all of those programs in there pushing out lies, and in between there's adverts. Okay, I'm back. Let's have a zoom. Close, in your face. Right, okay. So as I was saying, hold your hands out in front of you and imagine that you create them every time you need to see them. But are they really there? Is it just your perception of things? And these sound like crazy notions, but think of them. And you can do that, as I said, with most parts of your body. You can't see your back, but you know it's there. And you've never seen your entire body. You've seen a picture, but you may have seen the front of you in a picture. You may see the back of you in a picture, but you've never seen your entire being. So there's this inner us, this inner energy, the inner self, the you, but you've never seen it. There is a method that you can see yourself, they say, and I've seen this. It's fantastic, by the way. If ever you get the chance, look for True View mirror on the internet. But you get two mirrors at 45 degrees, so it forms 90 degrees, and then you stand in the center and you look at yourself. And what it does, it reflects the left side on the right and the right on the left, and you see your face. And it's quite an amazing experience because you'll actually see what others see. And it's quite unnerving, especially as it's animated, because you may say, oh no, but a photo does that, but it's a photo so flat and unrealistic. But yet when you see it in the mirror and you're moving just slightly, it's a fantastic experience, scary as well. And that's supposed to be your true self. But once again, it's a reflection of a reflection of a reflection. And it goes on and on and on. And it still isn't the true you. It's a representation of you, a representation. You are the only presentation of yourself, but you can't see yourself. Only others can see you, and they can see who you are, but you cannot. And this is another reason why it's good to listen and to watch how other people react to you in order to gain a better understanding of whom you are. And anyway, back to the simulation idea. There's a guy called Neil Bostrom, and he's a notable Swedish philosopher, and he's globally celebrated for his work on existential risk, anthropic principle, human enhancement ethics, superintelligence risks, the reversal test, and consequentialism. Look up consequentialism. And he said that it's likely that we're living in a simulation. It's just an idea, and this gained popularity when Elon Musk, that twat, sorry, he elaborated on it. And anyway, the theory claims that at the current rate of improvement in computer simulations, that games and like computer vision will become indistinguishable from reality, and that with the improvements in AI in games, the characters wouldn't be able to discern whether they were real or not. And this idea alludes to the fact that we may actually be the creation of a higher intelligence, much like The Sims. Now, if you're an open-minded and a thinking person, I'm sure you've thought this on occasion. Gas with the trees. In that, are we in a simulation? Or you play The Sims, or even in life, if you just like looked up or wondered, or just stopped doing what you're doing, and you're thinking, you feel that someone's watching you, someone's looking down on you. It's never like on your level or from below. Someone's looking at you, and it's that we believe it, which is maybe why we create these theories. And there's a greater part of me that thinks, I must admit, here we go, negative. Crazy Europeans and how they view the world, and it's just being pushed onto us once again, And let's not forget how astounded people were when they saw the first ever mechanical automata. For example, there was an automaton of a boy that actually wrote with pen and ink, and it must have been mind-blowing in its day. And if you don't know what an automaton is, it's just a mechanical device of any sort. You may have seen like male and a female character come out and they dance with each other, or like a cuckoo clock's even a automaton. But this automaton is of a small boy with a pen in his hand, and he dips the pen into ink, and he actually writes. And not only does he write, but he can write several things. And people must have been blown away by this in its time. And during that time, after the Industrial Revolution and the age of mechanism, people honestly thought that God was in the machine. Deus ex machina, they call that. And people believe, maybe we are machines, but mechanical machines. And now the only difference is that we're using computers. So now we think, we're computers, or we can create the brain. And for me, and I'll say this time and time again, I believe it's down to misogyny. It's simply because men can't have babies, so they keep on trying to create life. They exclude the women, and they're like, no, we can do this, we've got this one. And they're simply trying to create life, and they'll never, ever be able to do it. It requires two people, and always will do. That's the whole point of us, who we are, and how we exist, and how we create, and how we, propagate. It's not about men and silicon. So let me leave you some food for thought, okay? And you can respond here or send me an email at obgchat@gmail.com. Are we living in a simulation? Are we the creation of a higher super intelligence? Thanks for listening. I'm the OBG. Okay, right, that's it. I've created my live show. I actually record here at the same time as I'm doing the live show, and then I can cut the front and end off and put the video up on YouTube. So, hello Jamie. Hello Snejana. Hello Danny Maka. Nimai and Aaron. So, if anyone wants to talk on that, throw a question in or put your thoughts forward. I'd love to hear what Gaz has to say about the trees. That would be interesting. Gaby, you got anything to put forwards on that? On the AI idea, or living in a simulation, or even the fact that we can't see ourselves, or the fact that when we create the image of ourselves to ourselves, it's nothing like what we're really like, or how others perceive us. And in order to do that, you really have to be a thinker. You have to keep on thinking. You have to look at other people. They are the mirrors. They are our mirrors. Yes, Gaby. As Gaby said, isn't it negative recognising the extent to which a European worldview is globally dominant? It's a thing, if I understand your passing comment. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. It's a European idea. It's, the people with power, those who have dominated the world, who keep putting their ideas forward. And it's a very small group of people too, very male, very white, and very rich. And they put forward their ideas. It's like sitting in a group of 100 people, and one person's got, like the greater percentage of the wealth of the people in the group, say 2 people, and they have kids, and their kids play together, and they create these universities, and their kids go because they can afford it. And the ideas that were passed down from their predecessors is what they're working on, and they just keep on expounding what's right or how the world works, and passing that information on to us, saying, this is how things may well be. But they're wrong. No one can be right. And when we look back on this in, in the future, it's going to look like silly ideas. There are some benefits to be had from them, and people will say like, "Oh, but what about?" And they talk about a benefit we have, like Minecraft, Call of Duty 4, or oh, but we use computers, in hospitals to save lives, and I understand that. But this creating humans and the computer being the brain is going too far. For the amount of energy and time we expend on those, to me, it seems like a very Eurocentric, crazy idea, like many things. And as Snezjana says, so you're going to have to phonetically do your name for me, here or on a PM. I'll do it here so everyone can call you by name. I would say that we are ever creating our creation. And that's true. We are, but it's not necessarily that it's right. We're always trying to. I'd like to bastardize your phrase there to say we're always trying to create our creation. We are what we are. We need to look inwardly more and say, look, this is who we are, this is what we are. And when we combine together, we're quite a force to be reckoned with. But instead we fight and we stay separate. And instead of trying to expose our inner being to each other and the beauty of our humanness, we're trying to express an outer being. And that outer being, we can't see, It's visible, don't get me wrong. What I mean is we can't truly see into it. It's like, look at me, I've got this 58 top on. It could be a Nike top and, like an Adidas hat and certain jewellery and Boss jeans. And look at who I am. This is my identity. But that's not an identity. That's how we're trying to present ourselves. And often the clothes are a sign of, look at how wealthy I am. Whereas sportswear at one time used to be, look how athletic I am. And it wasn't about exuding this air of fitness. You wore a tracksuit to do sports. But now they've become common wear, for instance. But you've got to have the name of one of the top 3 companies, Nike, Reebok, or Adidas emblazoned on them. And it says, look at who I am. So all that creating who we are is an external a show of ego. And we need to look inwards more. And I think we'll become better people. Okay, Snow in Farmer. Snow, okay. See how much the damage is. I relate the word snow to a man who appropriated, rap culture, and that's the kind of connection. So, anyone want to say anything else? Gaby, if you've got anything else, or if I didn't answer or speak well about what you were talking about, go again. If not, you've got 30 seconds, and I'm shutting down. 28. 26. Okay. Hi, I'm the OBG. Looking forward to a question. You've got 20 seconds left. Or a theme. Or more so, Gaz and the trees. I'm intrigued now. Oh, I've gone into deep voice mode. This is me when I'm relaxed. I must admit, when I talk fast, I go really high. So we've dealt with that. I'm going to put the show up on Facebook anyway. I'll leave this one as it is on there. So if you do think of anything you want to say or add maybe later on, do so and see if we can get into a discussion about us living in a simulation. Thanks for listening. I'm the OBG. Television, how it pulls us in and just keeps telling us to consume, buy, and tells us to hate each other and separates us and causes the greatest divides, all under the name of entertainment. And every time I turn on my TV, it's just like no surprise. It's all of those programs in there pushing out lies, and in between there's the adverts, and they do it again, and they're trying to convince us that we're friends, and they have us trained like good little soldiers. 1, 2, 3, 4.
They say we're going to spend $1 trillion this Christmas, believe it or not.
Once again in slow motion. See how mild and good tasting a cigarette can be. Or doctors. Watch it again in slow motion. Watch it again in slow motion. Watch it again in slow motion.
I think people really know the true hypnotic power of television. How it pulls us in and just keeps telling us to consume, buy, and tells us to hate each other
that separates us and causes the greatest divides, all under the name of entertainment.
OBG.